I now hand over to Mr. Edmund, who will be conducting this interview. Thank you.
Let's begin the interview by asking you, how old are you?
I'm 82.
82 years old.
8 years of age.
When were you enlisted in the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard?
Enlisted on the 7th of November 1962.
What branch were you enlisted for?
I was enlisted in the Seaman branch.
How old were you when you were enlisted in the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard?
I was 19 years old. But before I go further, I was 19 years old. I want to state something very clear, loud and clear. I want to thank the Almighty for creating me at the right time, with the right parents, with the right neighbors, with the right people around me, with the right siblings, and with the right community, the right schools, and the right way of life. Thank you.
What were your major goals set after enlisting into the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard?
After enlisting, my major goal, as I've been taught as a young Boy Scout, my major goal was to serve my country, loyalty, devotion to duty, and love for all.
I understand that you were a founding member of the Internal Security Platoon, which was the highest platoon established. And how many members were assigned to that platoon?
That platoon was formed first and primarily. As my memory serves me, that platoon was formed by those days was a midshipman control. It was formed in 1962-64. Those are the time he had just came out from Dartmouth, and he was young, he was vibrant. He and a guy called that guy from Tobago, my batch. What's his name? Sick now. Yeah?
Curtis Roach?
No,
Arnold?
Arnold, George Arnold.
George Arnold.
He and George Arnold. And he continued, and we had got two, what you call, two dinghies, rubber dinghies, not rigid raiders, rubber dinghies. That's how we started this IS platoon. Right? All for what? All for the honor and defense of the country. For them is a young, vibrant, full of energy, and love for country.
So, Commander, I want to stray a little bit with one question. What motivated you to join the Coast Guard?
What motivated me, to be honest with you, was the Boy Scouts. Since I was a young boy, I was involved in scouting. Became my own scout master. I was involved, me and my brothers were involved in scouting. So much so that my brother got his Gilwell scouting up in Parkside. And at that time, I was going from my to be a Gilwell scout, and I was called to the Coast Guard in 62. And uniform and the love for country and making that make me join the Coast Guard.
Right. To the best of my knowledge, how many members of the intake, first recruit intake of the Trinidad Coast Guard are still alive? How many of the foundation members of the highest platoon are still alive?
But if my memory serves me right, the first intake was last September 16, we had 33 personnel. We have 33. To my knowledge, those who are alive in Trinidad now, we probably have one or two alive away. But we had Shipwright Toussaint, he's still alive in Maruga. Right? Fleet Chief Ramwood, he's still alive in Denmark. And that Rupert Torres, he died recently. And we had Griffith, he died a couple months ago. So, yeah, and myself, Campbell.
What was the main purpose of the highest platoon?
The main purpose is internal security. That was the main purpose. So every week we had a drill. We had an internal security drill for defense of your country. Defense of your country. That was the main, that's what it started off. With all the major drills, according to the variety and all this, 12 riots and all these things. Right? Gas masks, we had gas masks at times. So this is the type of training we had. But later on, it differed. Later on, it went open up. Later on, it went to what? It went to, we learned to do robot digging, we got user leaders. And later on, we started to do maritime interdiction outside here. And in those days, it was drugs, it was whiskey and cigarettes. Outside the from ballgame.
So the IS platoon was dismantled for a few years and revamped sometime thereafter in 1980. In 1983, the name of the IS platoon was changed. So too did the roles and functions of the newly transitioned special unit. What was the new unit called and what were the basic functions of that new unit?
The IS platoon never stand alone. It was always there. Because the role of the IS platoon expanded. We were members of the IS platoon, were masters of the small crafts that can go to the swamp, that go to the rivers. Right? And at that time, in the late 70s and 80s, the action was outside the sea. That is how we usually became that we had to be very proficient in the handling of our boats and weapons in the sea. So the rule had changed. Now we changed to drugs. Everything there were drugs. And a very dangerous mission. So the training was more intense. So much so that some of the members, some of our officers went to foreign for training.
Tell us a little about your role in the IS platoon and your role in the newly formed SNU.
In the IS platoon, I was the chief medic. I have been one of the first medic in the Coast Guard. Myself, A.B. Griffith. We all trained in Forest Hospital. And a guy called A.B. Philip. Mighty God bless their soul. We are the first three men. And I was specially now, as I qualified as a medic, to be say about the IS. Any medic. Seeing that in the IS platoon, I was solely now in charge of all medical units in the IS platoon. So much so that in 1970, I was the one who had all the drugs to deal with the prisoners in Nelson Island. Nobody could enter them beside me. And I had no weapon. I was weaponless. That is part of being a medic.
So you enlisted with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard in 1963 as an ordinary seaman. Share with us your progression through the ranks.
1962.
Share the progression through the ranks from a rating to a commissioned rank up to the retirement from the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard.
Yes. You want to get my advance?
Yeah, from an ordinary seaman where you enlisted and your progression from a rating to a commissioned rank up until you retire.
In 1962, I came in the West. 1963, NDM 63, 64, I was an Navy. And in 1970, I got a lieutenant. Right after the 1970 Rapport Revolution, and the people despised. But there was a meeting in the army in 1970. And I talked not about it because I was against it. When I smiled, I know. So, in 1970, I got promoted due to my job that I did in 70. We spent a couple 6 months in Australia. We had about nearly 2 months, and we never many asked, but we never flew for 2 months. That was in 1970. So I got promoted to Lena in 1970. And I got promoted to Lena in 1970. Except I got involved in customs. I got involved in customs. And the commander was sent to work at the Defense Force headquarters. And was formed a customs unit, giving the information of equipment to the Defense Force. We wanted to go away with this thing we call gum agents. under Sergeant Paul, and then Corporal. And I got Dinan after there, and in 1972-74 I got petty officer. When I got petty officer in 74, before I got petty officer, Sub-Lieutenant Wood Martin wanted me to go and test and do a course in junior and Sokara. And then the Sassing, Lieutenant asked me at the time, approached me and said, go a course and this course. I went to do the course. Both of us went, myself and Griffith, Hugh Griffith. We went to do the course. And we all passed it flying colors. As a matter of fact, I came first in Nicara. So, after Nicara, I came first. After Nicara, I was full-time training troops. Until 1982, when I got the commission. I was involved with full-time and also involved, I was appointed as a GI and Coast Guard. And something that we do long time, I'm not seeking Coast Guard now. As a GI, you had the authority to wake up and pull up young officers. I'm not seeing that anymore.
Where?
Okay, so from the Ghana, I got there. I train about 6-7 bachelor weeks. I remember training you too. I remember training you too.
Yes.
I remember training you where you are. Right.
You trained me in 1977 as he was a PO.
Yeah, 1970 was a PO. And sometimes I
78 trained me as a PO.
Yeah.
92, Sub-Lieutenant.
You're taking it now for when it is that you were promoted as a commissioned officer.
I was commissioned officer in I gave it to 81, but really was in reality it was 82.
Can you recall a few administrative and operational successes during your tenure as the highest commander and subsequent SNU commander?
There's so many successes and too numerous to mention. We used to be out there, right? And the highest platoon, right? They're more than 43 old. And in fact, once we had a picture in the papers with the customs officers and Wind Coast Guard up in the Monas Island. Big hall. I'm actually been home. I'll pass it on to you all. One morning we come down from Chat. We used to train in Kuzong Shakasakar. You all recall that? Yeah. And that should be a landmark now. And one morning, those guys saw this smoke coming from Monas Island. Not Monas, Huevos. We went to investigate. Tons of drugs. And one Spanish ship. So, yeah, numerous interdictions. And beside that, young IS platoon, we have young boys. They're so, things were getting a little tight, in security, around the coast. Once we took a boat, and we went around the whole island. I put young chaperones in charge, no Johnny Walk. I used to come navigate the whole island. You all recall that? Right? Right down back to the So with the SNU is far more different and far more organizing. We spent 4 or 5 months in Seagrass. I talk about in 1986, 87. And in those days, there had no big police station like now, no road building. There are stable for horses. It's fantastic. And every night, it's unbelievable. Every night, we used to make patrols. From there, straight to Maruga by small fishing. And the other part is this, poor men, when they have to sleep, we use the old Seahawk as the mothership, anchor right outside the police station. You don't what you call that. I have had one night the Seahawk run around, and I got him for cold there, and these guys here, and King and getting fishermen to clean up. So in many sleep they are cooked on board. And we used to go to places where with our beacon, we had a beacon, and we used to get rations. And as a matter of fact, I remember we boys, uni day, used to go to school and teach each other a little PT. A little hobby, PT in the morning, teacher and that. Remember? Salani will remind me of this. Salani is the other guys. Used to go outside and meet people, get a guys, like clean, get some new people. And have the children do PT every morning in school. They build a relationship in school. And the principal, I wonder what happened these days. I don't know about the drugs, I don't know about the Spanish, how much Spanish we brought in the school. And not that alone. In those days we had no radio station. So we had men like you. You admire looking at you now. And Smokey and all these guys going up where? Up every night. They go up lighthouse in Chaka Sagari. Up there walking up there to do what? To look at any boat that's coming up from Venezuela. And we have a man downstairs there. Downstairs de la Pirogue. Right? Near Diamond Rock. And we have time to Diamond Rock. And they say, hey, a boat coming down the road. And that is how we get the famous rum. What do you mean? Punch. That is how it's made. And gold shady. And thousands of dollars of US cash. But in them days, they had good collaboration with the police. Then they just put a superintendent, they had good things. And the guy with Craig and all these guys, they had good. And one day he sent me, Sergeant Seago. So that's how we live. Nice things. And plenty more, but we had the cooperation. We had good cooperation from the Coast Guard, from the Chief of Defense Staff, and from the ministry. Good cooperation. Right because we are working. But he said, we want this. And as a matter of fact, we had a boat painted strictly only what? Camouflage, wrong or right? That is the first time when I came back from the course in 87 in Royal Marines. My men had what? Camouflage, and that's the thing. And we did a lot of practices on beach landings in the night, and all these things, all the carcass, all Manzella in the night. Don't talk about jumping off helicopters. And the security rappelling helicopters. Do not move. Recover men who are sick. I remember Taco Santa, rappel, and I'm going to pick up the chopper. Men had to rappel from the chopper and land in a boat of Manzalena and sail it back. Look, some of them were there. These men are great men. Can we get men like you all again? When I get it back from my authorities, and I love them for that. When I pipe, I still there and say all answer. No leave, all leave, stop. So I say, no man, leave, stop. Yeah. So that is a good old day. There are so many things that we have to do. And get all that for what? Love for the job, love for your country, and people of your country. That's all that exercise that we used to do. And we see exercising outside the station with show for small boats information. Making style for love for the job. That's why the guys have memories until the dead.
Do you think the SNU, subsequent to your tenure as the SNU commander and up to the present time, has been able to effectively fulfill its mission, roles, and responsibilities?
Myself, no, and I'm not blaming the SNU person. I'm blaming the SNU man in charge, the officer in charge. He has to go to the commander and say, I want this, I want that, and this is what he's not doing. if you want something and you want them to perform, you want to treat them nice, you have to give them what they want. If they don't have what they want, what do you expect them to perform? But if people like it so. But you know what it was so? But we like it so. We want this, we go to command officer, my boss, we want that, and we get to that. That's why I'm repeating myself. We had the full authority from the bosses on him. You know what they tell me they retreat? Mohammed, done with his IS platoon. He's an officer now, one from changes from the SNU. And I send out thing there, and that's what I'm midshipman in them day. Best thing for this is the SNU. And that's all from the SNU. Right? But I had it back again of Jack Williams, Commander Jack Williams, and the General Sexual. If you don't have it back in, you can't achieve, man. You can't. And during that time, I had so much a relationship with Venezuela. We used to go to Venezuela, go to Guerrilla, meet our officers from Caracas. And sometimes go together with them on patrols. And we meet outside there. We live like family. That is so much so. I got 4 decorations from Venezuela. Not 1, not 2, 4.
What would you recommend to the relevant authorities to ensure effective continuity of existence of such an elite unit?
That unit must be given, as I said before, must be given what they need. If they don't have what they need, they cannot perform. This good boy image is a long time business. You have to perform. You have to get things to perform. And you must get them the required things, the required equipment, the required uniform, the required time. If you don't have these things, you can't perform. And from what I have done, what I see, things are not like before. Every officer is afraid. They're afraid to ask a question, they're afraid to ask the CEO, they're afraid to... No! Every day it was not so. Some non-affected organization, I go straight to the CEO. And I learned that from the British. Yeah, the British teach me so many good things. When I first started Rotten, where Rotten from? The head, not the belly. Yeah? That is why you always say, the eyes are the master fattening cow. If you as the boss, don't look wrong and see what's going on with people. All for long. And that will happen in the country today. And in the military too. You can't go to the military and ask for an example. I went on the military recently, and everything I see looking military, there's the uniform. Not looking military to me. And that's bad. I would have thought that the new SNU would have called some of the old men from the SNU to lecture to them sometimes and give a talk and let them know what passed through. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. No.
If you were to rewrite your own military naval history, what would you do differently?
Differently? Let me tell you what. See, 1970, it teach me certain things. And up to now, the government ended. You have officers who mutiny, and they're walking free. I laugh. Mutiny, 1970, you had people against the government, and they walk free again too. You am I right? Let me tell you something. See me? Politics is a hell of a thing. I had never in politics. When I retired in 1990, they begged me. You went sick, and then come to me and say, no boss, I'm not a politician. I'm a military man. Right? I stay so. Right? We as military men supposed to use the politicians. We as military men supposed to use the politicians to our benefit, not personal benefit. I remember I was the commander of SNU. A civilian boy come to me, come to me, want to see me, asking me for a favor. I said, sorry sir, ask the commanding officer. I'm not doing that. And as you don't fall, let me tell you something, 2 things. Listen carefully. And let's talk to you. Up to now, you don't have a Hindu chaplain, and you have a Muslim chaplain. Right. Eh? They're getting mad. Here again, 1966. Who big dignitary come to this country? Prime Minister of India, this Indira Gandhi, you remember that? And when Indira come here, what did you do? They play Indian song. Everything was Indian. Let me tell you something. When man again, Cyril, no, bring money from Israel was Indian, so I bring him in the army. And he started playing Indian music. And he continued. She full mute when she leave. Bam, all of a sudden stop it. 1970, they started bringing Tasa. And they bring back Indian music. Up to now, you have Indian music in the band. Ask Major Wade. And look at that Major Wade in charge of the band. Now, he knows, he was there in the beginning. All them Indian songs they played, nice song from there. And I'm marching with it. Sweet. Boss, we live in Tobago, we are multicultural, multiracial society. And if we don't love each other all for long, I'm not living in India, you are living in Africa. You see every born, here's your future man. But all the politicians will go and tell that no. And these are so many things that I have that I will bring back. If you all could remember, the last before I leave, 1989, 1990, we had Eid celebration in Coast Guard, don't you remember that? We had Diwali, remember we light up in Coast Guard, boy? Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
You see, that's happening now. Why? What are you telling me? So, but I mean, we have to get a move on step. This is for everybody. The defense force is for everybody.
Eddie.
Okay, Commander, I want to take you back. Normally, when you sign the patrol orders for the Special Naval Unit to effectively, go out and do the patrol at sea, and normally you will come back the following day, and you will come down to the LJT, and when they come alongside, you will ask them how much seizures they make, and they would say that we didn't pick up anything last night, and you would tell them that so you all just take the government boat and burn out all the fuel. Go back out on patrol. What was the rationale behind that method you applied?
The rationale beside that is very simple. It's to get them more interested in what they are doing. It's to get them more, what shall I say, get that center point, right, to command and control everything outside here. And to also that they have been paid to do a job. You can't see a boat passing there. I mean, it could be anybody. I'm not saying search all the boats, but the experience that they have now, you know what to search and what not to search. Listen, even around carnival time, they have hundreds of joint used to come in. Hundreds. And we used to board and search everyone for anyone. Everyone, you all know that. Everyone, and they were very proud, right? And those who had weapons, okay, we have it there, we call the police, simple as that. And go into a club and take it to a different story. I am not blaming the yachtmen. I mean, you sail in the oceans, big oceans, you can't just sail empty-handed. Some have their weapons with them, and they were allowed it. Why? Because we call the police and they were recorded. When they leave in, they get back their weapon. Simple as that. But, and that is why I'm proud that when I tell the boys that next time they go out there, they come back with something, and they smile and they laugh, right?
What is the most fundamental, or I should say, bad experience, like as a commander or in charge of the SNU?
To be honest with you, I enjoyed every minute of my second of my stay in the Coast Guard. When I was at OS, as a commander, everybody, I enjoyed my work. And when I enjoy my work, it gets easy for me. I never had a bad day. Right? Never had a bad day. I learned that from, again, according to Commander Peter Jones. One day as a AB in the yard, I'm in the yard, Bambi pipe me. Report to the CO office now. Report to the CO, and then there's the office. They are not upstairs, they're downstairs. When I had to go by the, then there was PO Grant. Grant was a PO, was a sergeant, he come over as a sergeant. There was St. Clair Grant, San Marchman, to the CO. Grant said, what you do? I said, sir, I don't know what I do. Grant, I know why I go to the CO for. When I went there, I salute. You know what? Man tell Grant, say you leave. Okay. When the man tell me, tears come to me, he say, young Mohammed, happy birthday. Happy birthday. The man called me, yeah, happy birthday. Nobody know that. But about tears me, he said, Mohammed, you done a good job, don't leave this job. He said, it's a nice job. You know, start in the Coast Guard, don't do anything. And I took the man advice. And the second advice that Pedro was giving me, I lucky again. Me and a man called Lidin Simon Zamo went to see you out. They sent me and Zamo that jitney. They want to see him out till he went by boat. And the last man he talked to me again. What he tell me? He said, Mohammed, don't ever leave this job. And I took that and I never leave this job. And I remember all these things in my life. I remember certain officers do me things and I report them on to me, see you. Because I don't take nothing sign up. None. From nobody, from officer, nobody. All you know me. The right thing is the right thing. Me and text you, be friend after. Right? There are certain officers I admire. Jack Williams I admire. Benny Brash, a very good divisional officer. I learned divisional from him. And he learned from the whites. Again, the British. We had men, you all know that, men hospital, we used to go and visit them. A man sick, children sick, we go to visit them. A man go to court, we going with him. I wonder if that happened to him, boy. Well, could tell me, I don't know. Again, all I forget it. Yeah? See? So that, you know.
What was your most memorable time at the Coast Guard? Any event or something that stood out in your mind when you was in the Coast Guard?
My most memorable time in Coast Guard. Two instances. One, when a man got shot in the swamp for drugs. I'm going to call his name now, he's dead already. We went to the swamp, we used to go in the swamp. All my men, every SNU man know the swamp like the palm of your hand. They know all the beaches and they know all the bays in Monas, down there, everything, they know all the beaches. Chakatakari, Huevos, Monas, Gas, they know all the beaches. And when that guy went to the swamp, we tell the man stop and he want to stop. So I hope I shot. Not at him, you know. And when we break the corner, we saw the boat run around. One man bleeding dead. But I was saying dead. And those days we had no food. We had the radio, walkie-talkies. And I called the police. They call Coast Guard yet, I call the police. And the police said I come down with a chopper. I will remember that. And who are come with the chopper? The senior superintendent now, a man called David Jack. And next one. And they came with the chopper. And they took the board and carried it away. I never forget the good things. Again, I say the relationship we had with the police. They came, because they know we are doing, we are working. Right? When the next time in the swamp again, 2 big containers of whiskey we find again. Yeah. You remember that boy? 2 big containers of whiskey. Yeah. When you take none, you go, yeah. Those are good days, memorable times to remember and cherish. And my commanding officer, you know, when I went back to the Coast Guard at night, for 2 days I couldn't sleep because it was my mind. Because people feel like it's my bullet that shot, that killed you. But really and truly, they tell me afterwards there could be other people outside there firing at them. And they couldn't be me because I didn't support that man. And the point is this, my commanding officer and my XO, they all backed me up to the hill. Right? And when I came back, Coast Guard, they still fine. And my crew came back, we spent the night. There we go. We came back in the night. And certain officers, they come to question my men. To ask them why we shoot the man for. So these things are my memories. So sometimes people work with me, but they know me, they will come to me. And my men know me, so my men give them no answer. My men give them no answer, and God give them more rile up. So brothers, there are some of my memorable times in the Coast Guard. Very memorable times.
Can you tell us about any two commanding officer or officers and two ratings that really had an impact on you?
Well, the first man that had a big impact on me was Commander Pete Jones. He had a big impact on me. The way he moved. You know, we have hands to dinner, hands to tea, hands for lunch, right? And then the pipe before that was not cruising, right? And before that pipe, all 11:30, my command officer making a wrongs at the station, making a wrongs, so nobody leaving there. Before 10 to 12, we're going to wash your hands. It ain't like now, all 11 o'clock, you don't see them in the shop. But you know that in shipwright shop, he come and he making wrongs all about it. And he impressed me. And wishing me a happy birthday. He impressed me, I wouldn't lie. He impressed me very much. When I was in England, like Champion impressed me too. Champion used to invite me home at his house. And in Portsmouth, I had dinner with wife many times, wife and child. I remember those good days with Champion. Right? Next commanding officer that had an impact on me, two of them, was Seret, Geoff Seret. They sent him home, he was the first commanding officer of the regiment. They sent him home. And he had to come back in 1970. Came back in 1970. What I admire him for? His steadfastness, his loyalty, and his honesty and truthfulness to the men on it. Outside, I don't know, but I know the men with it. I admire him for that very much. I worked with him for a year up at when they formed Defense Force, I went up with him. Commander Williams sent me to work up there. They started this customs unit, right? It was very nice. And he impressed me very much. And the next month, he impressed me, but cheered up, right? But he got cheered up from behind, he impressed me. And managed to do well. Because both of our feathers flock together. Right? He know me, I know him. And we used to bounce up many times in cocktail parties. And anytime he see me, he always go and talk and sit on top with me. So you know I do stand up. So that is, he impressed me very much. And the next young man that impressed me was a young man called Mr. Lal. I trained Mr. Lal. And what he impressed me with, without a shadow of a doubt, he was elected the best recruit in that batch, Mr. Lal. However, my son not too well these days, I went and seen very well. I'm glad his son in Coast Guard, he did very well. Mr. Lal did well from a country boy, Charlie did very well. And I admire him very much for that. Right? I admire those boys who live in Carcass. You see King and him, and you see Coast Guard, I admire him very much. But his sacrifice, I went, I lived with him. You see when they leave to come here every morning. And they always early, never late. So that's how it is.
Okay, I want to take you to the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment. But in specific, the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment Special Forces Detachment,
Yeah.
and your relationship with the twinning of the Special Naval Unit, with you being the commander and the Army Special Forces Detachment. What that relationship unit like? Eric?
Yeah. In the beginning, I remember Captain Derek Major Derek used to come, and we used to have a close training sometimes, which was very good. Then I thought sometimes they come patrol with us. I remember that time we went up on a post. Derek was there, I was there on the boat. It was nice, it was interesting, right? And we did, we never went so much in the bush really at that time. But we did a lot of things on the seas, right? Because they wanted part of the sea training, right? And most of my boys did a little bush training already, right? So they more concentrated on the seas, on the seaside. It was good. It's a pity it never continued. The reason best thing for themselves, I don't know. But they did it, and it was very successful in my book. And I want to believe that's why I admire Derek. I like him. Maybe after I never get fed up, I have to go. Because no production, they get no support. When you was a man and get support, you have to go. And just a young boy before he was his name.
Larry Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas. All the girls had to leave. No support. And we as leaders, especially the special units, the Army and Coast and Special Forces, we can't play games with people's lives. You don't have politicians, and this is what they expect you to do, and we don't do that. That is why so many fellas get frustrated and have to leave and go. So that's what life is. That is why in 1990 when I retired, right, boss asked me what I want to do, and they called me back to work. Until 2003, when I was 60.
So at present, if you have
One thing like I mentioned, and I also was happy when they called me in 1990 to open the Confonte base. I opened the Confonte base. It was such a, I feel it was an honor. I did a wonderful job, and everybody was happy of it. Normal patrols again, from Sidwest back to Caracas, back to Confonte station. It was fantastic. And the beauty about it, we never anchor the boat at the docks, at the jetty, in Confonte. No, we used to anchor in front of the station by the beach. From the beach, we used to anchor it. And he had a guard all night. It was nice. And again, we had the boys there to go and mix with the people and train. Every morning I have to with them. Everybody come with me, which was nice. You guys know that. You all went up there with me. You know? Yeah, go ahead.
So if you have the opportunity or the privilege to go back to the Coast Guard to probably educate or train SNU or enlighten them in certain aspect, would you do it?
Of course. Because that's part of me. When I start something, I like to finish and finish up good. And they call me tomorrow and of course, I'm going to assist them and everything, right? And give them points and give them things to do. But then again, the man in charge of that must want it. And then the CEO, the Coast Guard must want it. Because every CEO in my book now, them look like cowards. Well, cowards. I don't have to wait till the office. I don't have to wait till the minister tell me to send a boat on patrol. I don't have to wait on the CDS to tell me to send a boat on patrol. No. And that is what they're doing now. If somebody of that time they say nobody know it. It seems to me, I may be wrong, that if they're only looking for, they're working from month to month for a salary. Do you know what's my salary long time? Every week we used to get paid. March up and salute. Every week. How much? $19 a week. I know when that changed. That changed in 1970 to 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get paid. And then 74, it goes to a month. I used to get cash. C-A-S-H.
Remember that?
You remember that?
Yeah.
Cash. Now it's a different ball game. No, you see, too much I work. Too much I work for the writers. my foot. So what do you expect? But it's working all the time, but it's not working out. Why? See? Because nobody have that love, but nobody have that dedication to duty and loyalty to country and love for countrymen. All they have is God. What I could get, give me what I could get. Come like my partner here, I went to the man's funeral, the Coast Guard man, and the first thing my man looked in the coffin. He said, what are you looking there for? He said, well, I want to see where you're carrying. I told her, me calling him.
Would you would like to participate in the next Coast Guard mini marathon?
Me? I would go in mini marathon, but walking, not running. Because at my age, the doctor tell me, the blood don't full to go up there. They want to give me a stench in my photo, a stench or something. I say, not me, brother.
What about the gas-free swim to stones?
Boss, so I have a certificate to show you. I still do that every year. I come second by you telling me, look, I have a certificate, signed by who? Let me tell you, signed by Loftus Peyton Jones. And who make it for me? Long time I make a certificate with pen. You know who make it? Old Melville, Ignatius Melville, he dead poor fella dead. Remember Melville Yamra boy?
Yeah.
Right.
That may be the Ignatius.
I'm going to bring that set. I have that certificate up there, I will show you it.
Okay, and in terms of taking out a mango with a pistol with one hand by the stem, think you still have that ability?
How am I going to have that ability again? Oh God. I'm old, but I ain't cold, but at the same time, I mean, you can't get at him again. Right? I went up in the Ranger and you went with me up in the right? I shoot, yes, but I don't have that, you know, that gut. You know, the muscle going out. You're young. When you want muscle going good. Right.
What was the most hilarious time you had in your work? Something happened, whether out at sea or on land, and it stood out to us, but it was real hilarious to you. But share that with us.
Every guys should remember, you guys could remember when the Guardia Nacional had shot a boat called Ferdinando, Captain Ferdinand, down South Trinidad. You remember that? They shoot and they kill the captain. And we had to go and go for the boat. I bring back the captain by chopper and I take Clement with me. He was a young, and I went Guyana and chopper. We brought back the boat. The happy times in Guyana, when we went Guyana, many people, they had known before I crossed some good Guyana. The Guyana sent a big car for you and everything I was happy. And they gave us a nice little welcome. And not only that, we had 2 or 3 fellows from our embassy came down to meet us from Caracas. And we had a good get together and a good laughter, a good fun. And the people gave us a good display. Right? And I enjoyed that. One of the times I enjoyed it, where everybody was happy, and when the man went up there to treat us good, our embassy officials came down, and we had a nice little chat, and everything went nice, and then they give us a display, like a little concert with ladies and men. And like I'll shoot, because we spent the night out. Yes, it was nice. I enjoyed that.
Okay, do you think that there's a possibility in the future that a member or former member of the armed forces of Trinidad and Tobago would one day attain the rank as Commander-in-Chief and President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago?
I see no doubt. There's no doubt in that. I would love to see that. But sometimes I wonder, the way the country runs, it's run by politics. Some man is well qualified, well good, but due to politics, he ain't going nowhere. Right? But I would really love to see that day. And my answer that is the CDS. You have to work harder. You have to be more honest to the people under there. More honest to the officers, more honest to the men. When last you see a CDS working at camp? When last you see a CDS working right in Stowbridge Bay, or right down in Tetra, or right down in Sharamas? Come on the office and walk down here and see the boys and how you go to the office. When last you see that? Or when last you see them go up to the station up in Laramini? They don't know where. Why? They pack up in the office. They are armchair general. We don't want an armchair general again. This are not done. Come out, meet the people, see the people, talk to them. And that's how you're not demanding respect. That's how you attain respect. That's what people respect you and love you. When they see you and say, look, man, now you talk to me, so. But when you sit down there, you only go in your car and have a glass wine up, you know, pass, attention! And everybody else salute you. What are you telling me? There is not life. There has not been Commander-in-Chief. There has not been CDS. No, that's only part of it. The real part is going out there and mixing with the ratings and mixing with the soldiers and the officers.
Well, I guess you're familiar with 1970 and Rafik Shah. If you get an opportunity to sit with him one-on-one, what would be the first question you think you would like to ask him
about
1970?
I went 1970. I know his wife. His wife died, I went there, funeral, film day, hoping to see him and he ain't come down at all. You understand me? He ain't come down at all. And I know God sent me there because I know what they'll tell him. They never want to get him around there. So he ain't want me at all. I went there because due to his wife, I know his wife, she grew up by me. So me and my partners, we went up there. As a matter of, policy. But I understand he's not well. I understand he has got Alzheimer's. Sick. Right? So, it's better so. What would I tell him? What I want to tell him, I won't tell him again. Because he is very suffering. And not going to tell him.
They say something about CS walking around on the farm. Walk around the yard, leave the office. I remember in the past, it had one or two serious. To actually walk around and interact.
Right.
Play sport, football, everything with the ratings and them.
Correct. That's happening. Go to the football game with them. When the Pakistan goal in this year, all that is boost them up. But I talk about football. I represent Kolkata and football, all kind of thing, Then there's Queen's Park Savannah. We go to play football. Yeah. I used to play for 3-4 years. And then when a fellow like Smiley come, better than me, I do go to the background. Yeah, but in 63, 64, we represented the Coast Guard. I saw them one like Thomas and them. Thomas still alive. Phil Thomas, all them play football together. It was good old days. Yeah.
That brings me to one of the final questions. The name Reginald Sam, founding member in the highest platoon, Special Naval Unit, most feared, most respected, professional, Reginald Sam. Can you shed some light on this gentleman and his relationship with you as the commander?
Reginald Sam is a unique gentleman. Unique in many ways, right? He was not founding member of the IS. I became a founding John Yarote was the police in the early 60s. He came in the 70s, Johnny, right? But he was a very dedicated man. He came in as a writer. And when I look at him in the yard, right, and I look at his performances, that is why I recommended him, right, to get him join the IS. Right? Came in the IS, and from the IS he stayed there. He never went back as a writer. He spent all his time in the IS and in the SNU. Never got it. Until leaving in 1990 left, 1989 left. He always stayed with us. He's a man of impeccable character. If he say I'm going, I'm going. If he say I'm not going, I'm not going. He's a very decent, honest man. That's why we get along very well. And in fact, when I have my celebration long time, I just invite him home. Very few people I do that. You know that. He was one of them that's very welcome anytime. Very decent, a very loving, a very professional sailor at all times. Right? He loved his job. And our family, he told me when he was leaving, he said, I really don't want to be good. For his future, the future of his family, and he had it. And he's doing well. He came down recently with us. Remember he came down, went up on the range with us 2 years ago? Came. So I still maintain a nice little rapport with him. I enjoy it. And I wish I had more people like Sam in the world. That might be a better Coast Guard and a better SN.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. Your relationship with Roy Moses and Job and Silverado and Roya and Logan and these guys, how you miss all these guys still? Keep in touch with these guys?
Yeah, I keep in touch with Moses. Peter Rado, I call him here and send him to I meet him on the funeral and make sure. Right? Moses, okay, go to the next one.
Roya.
Roya, yeah, Roya, we talk with Roya for
Logan.
Eh?
Job.
Yeah, rolled by me, and Richard Bodie was there.
Louis Martin.
Yeah, after seeing the
Lyda Williams.
Yeah, I meet him there as well. We talk with
Tate.
Yeah, I meet Tate.
Smokey.
Yeah, oh God, don't know about Smokey.
Orlando Stevens.
Yeah, man. Don't feel like to do them.
Dominic Taylor.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Garcia.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
Galloway.
Sylvia's called me every big boy. Galloway, boy. I saw for Galloway. My story Galloway.
Farrell. King.
Yes.
You
You know, King invited me.
David King.
I talked to him last week. He said, sir, I said, call me, sir. He said, anytime you because I told him I not seen him. How you want to because I know him from Fullerton, the Navy station up there. He said, Mr. Mohammed, I said, call him Mr. Mohammed. Commissioner. I said, anytime you want to come by me and spend a night at my big house. He said, he expect people. Nice boy.
Wallace.
Who?
Trevor Wallace.
Oh God, yeah, me Trevor, yeah, man.
Roberts. Nolan Roberts.
Roland Roberts.
Gomes. Pepe Gomes.
Oh yeah, he's here.
Henry. Christopher Henry.
Christopher Henry.
Yeah, that stone man, the one who get the street foot in the foot.
Oh,
Henry who get shoot.
that is Silver Bow get shoot.
Stone
That
man.
medic.
No.
They were going to swamp big.
No. This one with Rado.
Oh, you were Rado?
Yeah. And Stone Man Henry, Christopher Henry.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right. These are some of the guys that you served with, you work with. Very
Well,
close still together with.
One of these days, whatever I get together, I get. When I see people, I bring back memories. If I don't see you, I don't bring back the memories. You see, I see this morning, you say something this morning, I see you, they bring back memories to me, I forget. So sometimes when you see people, they bring back memories to you, and bring back good memories, right? And it's always a happy occasion to meet people like you. They bring back the good old days. And I, as a man, like history. I love history.
But we still have the officers. Clement, Commander Clement, Shepard, Morrison, still have Job, Orlando Stevens, Louis Martin, all these guys still here with us in the land of the living.
I am the boy not well.
Morrison?
Morrison not well. We want him to concede. Right? Morrison not well.
He's a trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing everyone.
Well, we want to thank you. Long life